the risky decision and the uncertain path in free agency. It's possible that, behind the scenes of the NBA, Oshae Brissett's name has gotten lost among those of more talked-about players. However, the story of his bold decision to decline a $2.5 million contract option with the Boston Celtics is undoubtedly a reflection of the constant struggle many athletes face in search of recognition and a more significant opportunity. The lingering question is, did Brissett make an irreparable mistake by walking away from the security of a renewed contract, even at the risk of being seen only as a secondary piece in last season's championship team? The risky decision. During the past season, Brissett had a limited role with the Celtics, averaging just 11.5 minutes per game. Despite this, he contributed to the team's 2024 NBA championship victory. However, by declining the $2.5 million option, Brissett sought a more prominent role with another franchise. Oshae Brissett chose to take a risk. After a modest performance during the Celtics' championship run, where he had low averages in minutes and points, the player opted to reject his contract option, hoping for a chance to shine with a new team. This decision wasn't easy. Brissett had already experienced the difficulties of being a limited presence on a star-studded team, yet at the same time, he felt he had the potential for more. But did he underestimate the risk of giving up financial security? After all, the NBA is a cruel league when it comes to room for new talent. Brissett's decision reflects a deep desire to prove that he is more than a piece on the roster, but it also raises an inevitable question. Will this boldness turn into a real opportunity, or will Brissett have to face the frustration of being left out while other players, not as talented, secure their place in teams' rotations? Players in similar situations, like former Celtic Grant Williams, also face challenges in seeking more lucrative contracts. Williams, for example, rejected an extension offer from the Celtics and ended up signing with the Dallas Mavericks, where he seeks a more meaningful role. These comparisons highlight the risks and rewards involved in similar decisions. Brissett's doubts. In his vlog, Brissett admitted that it hasn't been easy to watch league games while feeling like he could be playing instead of just watching. "I feel better than a lot of these guys on the court," he said. What no one expected was that Brissett, with his unwavering confidence, would face the dilemma of being sidelined while seeing other players, not as talented, secure their spot in team rotations. It's impossible not to ask, is Brissett being treated unfairly, or is the reality of the free agent market simply not aligning with the expectations he set for himself? His performance of 3.7 points per game in 11.5 minutes last season left doubts about his ability to contribute on a team already filled with stars. The harsh truth is that, although Brissett has energy and athletic skills, he doesn't yet have the consistency needed to be a key player on a championship team. However, in his defense, his athletic ability and physical power, combined with the fact that he is a solid defender and can bring energy off the bench, are qualities that could make any team reconsider his importance. As he said, "I know that if I get the chance, I can show my worth." The question remains, who will give him that chance? What's next for Brissett? As the trade deadline approaches and the free agency window narrows, Brissett's situation becomes increasingly pressing. And the reality is tough. Time is running out. Brissett is not the only player waiting for a contract that never comes. In recent years, the NBA has become a place where talents don't always get the opportunity to grow and develop as they deserve. And for players like Brissett, this limbo of uncertainty can be particularly hard to swallow. Looking at other players who took a similar path and struggled to find a place on a team, the question remains, does Brissett still have time to turn things around and justify his decision to leave Boston? Or will his name be forgotten in the archives of NBA history as just another lost opportunity? In June 2024, after winning the NBA title with the Celtics, Brissett chose not to exercise his $2.5 million player option, becoming a free agent in search of a more significant role on another team. However, months after making that decision, Brissett remains without a contract in the NBA. In a recent vlog, he shared that this situation has not been easy, highlighting the challenges faced by players seeking stability and opportunities in the league. Brissett's journey reflects a common reality in the NBA, where talented players often face uncertainties and difficulties securing consistent positions on teams. His decision to leave Boston in search of greater prominence is understandable, but also illustrates the risks involved in giving up guaranteed contracts in the hope of better opportunities. Brissett's future in the NBA remains uncertain. His experience and skills undoubtedly make him a viable candidate for several teams looking to strengthen their rotations. However, the competitiveness and dynamics of the free agency market may prolong his waiting period. In the meantime, Brissett continues to train and stay prepared, awaiting the opportunity to showcase his value and justify his decision to seek new horizons outside of Boston. The free agent market and the pressure of trade deadline. On the other hand, Brissett's situation also reveals a broader aspect of the NBA. The immense pressure players face to find a place where they can grow, especially after their contract expires. For him, the challenge is even deeper because, unlike more established players, Brissett doesn't have the luxury of waiting for an opportunity with his desired team. NBA teams, especially those with championship hopes, rarely have space for players like Brissett, who need time to develop. But what no one expected was that this scenario would become a reflection of what happens to many young athletes who enter the league with great promises, only to be swallowed by the vast and competitive market. Brissett isn't the only one fighting for relevance, and at the same time, he isn't the only one who feels better than those occupying spots he believes he deserves. On the other hand, the lack of concrete offers so far suggests that declining the option might not have been the best choice. Without a guaranteed contract, Brissett risks not playing, which could hurt his development and visibility in the league. Did the Celtics make a mistake letting Brissett go? Now, an intriguing question arises. Did the Boston Celtics make a mistake by not investing more in Brissett, offering him a bigger chance to grow? Given the team's current season, which is still adjusting after losing key players, Brissett could have been the energy the team needs to improve its bench and defense. However, this is a complex analysis. Brissett is not a three-point shooting specialist, an area where the Celtics still have gaps. His defensive ability, although solid, wasn't enough to stand out on the current team. So, would Brissett really have been a good bet for the Celtics? Or did the franchise make the right choice by moving on? What's next for Brissett? As the trade deadline approaches, Brissett's fate becomes more uncertain. Will he find a team willing to offer him the chance he so desires? Or will he, in the end, be left out, waiting for the phone to ring at a moment that may never come? What is clear is that the window for Brissett is closing rapidly, and he needs to act fast or risk being left out of the league in the near future. Brissett's dilemma is a reflection of an increasingly relentless NBA, where competition is fierce and guaranteed contracts are scarce. For Brissett, time is running out, and he needs to do more than just wait for the phone to ring. He needs to keep training and showing that when the opportunity arises, he will be ready to take it. But in the end, a question echoes for all athletes in the same situation. Was the sacrifice of risking a guaranteed contract in search of a better future worth it? For Brissett, the future is uncertain, but the challenge of fighting for his career is something he can't give up. Hey Celtics fanatics! What do you think of this news? Leave your opinion in the comments, as it's highly valued.